Well, hello and welcome back to the channel, or to it if you ain't been here before. Today, we're out here in the woods, in the back of a field, where this old Allis is waiting to run. Hopefully. I've already pulled some of the distributor parts and cleaned them up, but it's been sitting for a couple weeks. I'll probably have to clean points again because I ain't had no cap on it. But it's a decent shape. Radiator's trashed. I can't see it from this side. It's got several holes on the inside of it, but not too bad outside. Of course, it's laying down here in all the briars, so that'll be fun to work around. It'll be alright. It's been 12 volt converted at some point, or at least the alternator has been. Very nicely made bracket in there. Hopefully it ain't full of bees. I don't think so. I knew the toolbox had some in it at one time, but I cleaned them out the other day. Find out if there's any still in it. No. Nothing in there but a bunch of old crap pieces of fuel ball in there. That might be handy. Instead of points that are completely broken. But that's probably enough looking it over. See if we can make it run. I'm gonna put you all on the stand and get me a battery tossed up in it. We'll start getting to work on some spark, and then we'll put some fuel to it. Alright, I've got me some wiring hooked up here, a couple of clip wires, and figure first thing I'll do is see if I still got points by seeing if the coil will fire. So, got the battery hooked up. I'm going to put my one clip wire on and make sure it's out of gear and crank it a little bit. Come on. There we go. I guess I probably ought to pull the exhaust plug off. Or maybe the whole muffler. Ooh, it might be the whole muffler. That's down in there good. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's a fuel bowl. That can stay because that'll blow off. Alright. Alright, I don't see any fire out the coil. I think this battery's too weak. Maybe it's connecting poor. See if that coil gets warm and all being hooked up. Yeah, this ground cable's good and hot. Positive cable ain't too bad. Of course, this tractor's not up by the shop or anything, so everything on it's gonna fight me tooth and nail. Now that damn cable's so hot I can't touch it, so I guess that moving made it worse. It needs all the wiring redone on it. I know it needs it all redone, but It's too much damn money to put into it before I hear it run, so I'm gonna try and get it to run first. But of course, now I don't want to have spark. I don't know if it's because the battery's too weak or because the points are bad. So I guess while the cable cools off, I'll try filing the points or cleaning them. Of course, I forgot to bring anything to clean them with, so I have to go back up to the shop. Yeah, they're all dirty. I can see it. And like I said, I forgot to bring anything, so I suppose I'll go up and get something to file them with and try and get something to improve the situation on this ground cable. Half the problem is the end on the wire is too big for the post on the battery. But you know, try this again. Alright, it has been several weeks, for you a few seconds, but it's been several weeks since I've been down here. But I'm finally back to the old Allis. And we're going to try again to see if it will run. I've got some hope this time, because I stopped being pinch panning and went out and bought cap, rotor, and wires. So maybe we'll actually get some spark somewhere it's supposed to go. But I'm going to grab them, put the rotor on, put the cap on, figure out my firing order right quick, and see if we can make it hit this time. Alright, I have here a bag full of spark. Or at least things to make spark. First, we got our rotor made in the grand old US of A, so it'll actually work right. Install. Then we have our cap, also made in the US of A, so it will too work. Or it too will work, I guess is the proper way to say that. See, alignment tab goes like this. Yeah. Maybe the points will work this time. I won't have to say them again. Maybe. Hey now. That's a very, very nice shiny cap on a very rusty motor. Next thing I have, a bundle of brand new wires. I believe these are made in Mexico or something, so they might work. I don't know. Better than China. So, let's see, which one here is the short? That's the shortest. Now, as per my knowledge, this is the number one. That point on the cap pointing towards the water pump goes to the number one cylinder. Supposedly. Or at least I assume that's what the problem was. Maybe it wasn't, but heard something crashing around up yonder. Don't know if it's thunder or a door or what, but oh yeah, that's that end I screwed up a little bit. Need pliers. Alright, got all the wires installed. Got my little power clips hooked up for the distributor. Oh, see if it's got spark now. see any. Not a great sign. I also might not have much ground there, so. Not seeing any. I wonder if this wire ain't got no power. Might not. Starting to crank over faster. Just don't know if we got spark. I wonder if the points are dirty again. They probably are. Well, I'll go ahead and clean them for the 50th time. Of course, I didn't bring my sandpaper this time, so might have to go up and get some. Oh yeah, they look all dirty again. They are. This stupid starter switch is about bad. Come on, Thorn, let's go down. Damn it. How am I so good at getting it on the cam? I want it off. Did it not come off? Come on. That could be a problem. I don't think my distributor's turning. Let me put the rotor on so I can see, but I don't think it is. There it is. It's just really good at falling on a cam. need it off that cam so I can then check these points. Apparently this motor just won't stop off a cam. There we go, finally. Yep, they ain't snapping. Don't know if this has got power on it. I assume it does. But they are not snapping, so. Yeah, because that wire comes straight over here, I think. I'm trying going straight off of here. Oh, that'll have power. Oh yeah, there we go. Just didn't have no power, I guess. That's better. Sometimes stupidity will get you. There we are. Let's try that again. With more, hopefully more success this time. I still don't see none, but I think I'm going to try hitting it with some spray and see if any of the other three will fit. Just because. Is this battery dead or is it hot? That connection's hot. That one's hot. Battery's not hot. If I could get my damn cables in here somehow where they fucking hit something. Boy, battery I got's got the post on the wrong side, so. Doesn't really fit right. I'm gonna have to get a battery with about 1,000 cranking amps, I guess. See what that does. I'm gonna go up and get my jump pack and see if I can get this thing to spin over at more than 4 miles an hour. I'm getting about tired of these bad batteries. I'm also tired of buying good ones, so whatever. Alright, I got my jump pack on now. I'm gonna screw this other plug in, hit it with some starting spray, and see if it'll run. I'm tired of checking for spark. Why won't this thing turn over? Has it got no connection on something? Yeah, something electrical smells funny. The battery's alright. See if that changes anything. I ain't convinced that it's not this starter switch. Nothing's warm. Switch ain't that warm. This pole's a little warm. Wire's not bad. How much warm here? I guess there's just no amperage in my batteries, so I'm gonna try and find one that's got some charge in it that might fit and try again. Okay, I found a battery that's got more oomph. Let's try again. I think I may have found a weak part. See all smoke coming out the starter over here? If I can get it to zoom. Old starter might be done. Let me hit that again right quick. Yeah, old starter's not too happy there. I don't know if y'all could see it, but there's some smoke coming out of it. And it is a starter. I watched it come off the brushes. Well, that's great. Absolutely wonderful. I'm gonna hit it with some spray one more time. We'll let that starter cool off for a second. But I'll hit it with spray one more time and see if we can't get it to hit. But I'm afraid I'm gonna have to take that starter off and up to the building and clean it up. Try and get it to spin over a little faster with a little more amperage. Find me a new button for it. I actually have a few of them, so hopefully I got one that'll work. Come on, baby. You know you want to. That's way too much. I don't think it's going to. Let me try less throttle. Maybe it's fighting too much compression with all the air going in it. Yeah, it's not heating my battery or anything. My connections on the battery are good. Just all Mr. Starter's really dirty inside. Poor thing. 4 or 5 to pull a choke. I don't know where it's at, so no. I don't think so. I think that old starter just ain't gonna spin it fast enough. Poor thing. I ain't got no way to hand crank it, so I guess I'm gonna have to pull that starter off, go clean it up, so see what it takes to do that and go ahead and do it. Alright. This don't look like it'd take too much, so go ahead and do it right quick. Take it up there and see if we can't fix it. I think it's more this size. Yep. Just need that in socket form, I think. I don't believe I can snake that in there, maybe. Don't worry, I have unhooked the ground lead, so. Nope. Eh, maybe. Hang on. Nope, gonna need that in socket form, I think. Unless that's 5/8. It is. That's why it won't go on. I had a 5/8 wrench in there. Oh, Mr. Nut. Yeah, that needs cleaned up, I suppose. I'll clean all these while I got them off, but that one's going to stay off, actually. I'll clean them while I got them off, but the smoke was coming from inside the starter, so I don't think that was the main issue. I believe this has got the easy release on it. Let's say easy release, it don't want to release. Come on, Bubby. There you go. Them switches are where the phrase contact came from when you go start something, because you literally make contact. It's a big switch. That's all it is. What do we got holding that on? Little 3/8, I'd say. Weeny little things. And this looks like it's an 8N style starter where you pull the two mounting bolts out and the whole thing tries to fall off, so, or fall apart, I mean. And I absolutely love that. It's great. Wonderful. Yep, those are 3/8. And they're not very tight. That one ain't. Yep, they're not very tight. That's good. Well, for some things it's good, for others not so much, but that brush wire is touching that. I wonder if it might be going through, might be some of the sparking we're seeing. Well, of course, starter's already trying to fall apart. Or fall off, one of the two. I really don't want to pull it apart, so. Damn it, that starter is hot. The whole thing's 1,000,000 degrees. Yeah, this is the problem. That's why it won't spark, I'd say. There's no damn amperage. The coil can't get none. Holy shit, that thing's hot. It's burning my hands. Wait a minute. Those just bolt the starter together. Let me get them back in there. I don't think them bolted into the block. Something else does. Ouch. My fingers are burning. My fingers are burning. Jesus, that thing's hot. Yeah, that's definitely the problem. I'll stick that guy back on there right quick. How does this thing come out? Because those don't bolt it into the block. Those bolt it together. Oh, I see how it's in there. Bring you all over here right quick. Zoom you out so you don't get shook around too bad. Oh, there's a hole there. Try and set you on some decent footing. Oh, sorry. That bolt right there, I believe, is what holds that on. So I'm going to stick this back in. Maybe that starter don't come apart. I got the other one tight, so I'm just going to put this in my hand. Take the starter in one piece. I believe that is it. I think I break the lock nut loose, then unthread that. Let's try it. I think that holds the round part of the starter in. It's actually a pretty good idea. I wish the 8Ns were that way. It'd be a lot better than splitting the starter and everything else when you go take it out. So I've pulled the starters on and off the 8, 9, 2N Fords. Out of all the times I've done it, I think once I've got the thing to come off without splitting in half and then having to fight the brushes back into it. There we go. Oh yeah, that's how it's in there. Bingo. Whew, that's a heavy one. And that's hot, hot, hot. Ouch, 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 hot. If you couldn't tell, it's hot. Well, there we go, that's off. Pull you up out the stand here. Nice and easy. take us a look in here. Can't see nothing. Let's turn on the flashlight. Ooh, the teeth could be a little better. They're not awful. I've seen worse. I've seen better, but I've seen worse. Got a flywheel in there. It don't look too awful in there. What we got over here? Clutch pivot, maybe? Something to do with it. Something to do with the clutch, I'd say. Ain't too bad in there. I've seen a lot worse. Overall, this one's not in too bad a shape. I'm missing the bottom for the air cleaner. But as you can see, it's not the only one. That's a 2N war era. And that's a Studebaker 40 something. I don't remember. Studebaker's got no motor, can't make it run. That one, that one's junk. Transmission stuck, engine stuck. I've tried to free both. That's a parts tractor. It's got good sheet metal though. Some good parts on it. I've already taken the rear tires off of it and put my nasty ones on it. Put my good ones on my 8N. I'm gonna pull the front end apart one day on it and take them tricycle, or not tricycle, them tri-row tires off of it. Put them on my 8N because it's got 14-inch trailer tires on it right now, and fine for doing hay, but they suck in the soft dirt. So let's take this starter up and see if we can't make it worse. Alright, we got the starter on the bench here. It's still hot somehow. It's been like 8 minutes since I pulled it off that tractor and it's still hot. This thing was boiling. You're gonna hear the background of the air conditioner blowing for a while here because, well, it only blows when I want it to not and doesn't when I want it to. I come in here earlier and it was about 10 degrees over set point. It wasn't running. Had to waft some air towards the thermostat on it, get it to kick on, but whatever. I'm gonna take this apart. Yeah, pointing the wrong way. This would be fun. I've done them a couple times. I ain't no professional. I don't know how to do them right, but they seem to crank better when I'm done with them, so I guess I can do something. Hardest part's getting the brushes back in them. Let's see what we can screw up. Give me a nice old one of my antique wrenches here. No idea how old it is, but I'd say it being 6-point, made in the USA, and the way it's cast, it's probably 50s. Older. Might even be older. For how bad I'm in the shot here. I think if I stand like that, it'll be alright. Better yet, turn it like this for now. And run this guy up. There we go. Now, anybody watching that knows how to do starters properly, I'm sorry. Cone off. Yeah, that's nice and greasy. Why is there a bunch of grease on that? It doesn't seem like that's where oil should live. That's a complicated Bendix. I'm not taking the Bendix part. Now for the part that always pains me. Sliding that out of the brushes. But it's got to be done. God damn it. I think this is the commutator, or is this the armature? I don't remember whether that's the commutator or if this side is. Either way, this That's still 150 degrees at least. Jesus. That's hot. And make note of this shim or washer or spacer or anti-conductor or whatever it is. It lives there. We'll leave him there. I don't know what to do with it with it being so hot. Still burning my fingers. I guess I'm going to try and pick it up, set it in my vise. Yeah, something like that. Now don't worry, I pinched it in the vise, but very mildly. Very mildly. So don't worry about me ruining it. I should. I'm not going to say I won't, because I don't know that for sure, but I should. It should be okay. Like I said, I've fixed a couple. They've worked for a while. Fixed 2 for an 8N. I fixed 1 for a Jeep. No, 2 for a Jeeps as well. I'll try and blow that cold air away so it ain't blowing on us. Fixed 1 for a Willis Jeep with a flathead. Fixed 1 for an AMC era Jeep with a V8. I fixed 2 for an 8N. And 1 for a 4-wheeler. That one was really... that one was special, but it did work. We'll start off with some 120 grit hammering cloth, made in the USA. No, I don't know where I got this. I've got a roll of it. I can tell you the roll's old because the actual steel spool looks like it come off the Titanic. It is, I've never seen an emery cloth roll rotted out. I'm not sure where it was stored or what it was doing, but the cloth's still good. Spool ain't. Come on now, quit sliding. And I will say, again, I know this is not the right way to do this. I know you're supposed to put them in a lathe and turn this properly. And in fact, I know how to do that. Because my daddy used to do some work, machine work for an electric motor company. And he'd have to turn the armatures. I think that's what they're called. Anyway, he'd have to turn these down. He'd have to turn this part and this part, clean them up so they work right. I don't do that. I don't know how to do that properly. I don't know how to hold it in the lathe, because that's been a long time ago. But I do know how to wipe it off with sandpaper and make it a whole lot cleaner than it was when I started, which it already is. I also know how to take a pick and clean the lines. Might need something narrower than this. It's not really pulling nothing out. I need something a little smaller than that. That pick's pretty blunt. It's been used a lot. Try this one. Funny shape. I don't use it much. Oh, damn it. Don't do that. That I know for a fact ain't really good for these. I don't know if that one little scratch that's gonna hurt it, but it's not particularly good to be doing that, so try not to. I need something finer still. Maybe not. Now I need a push instead of hold. Yeah, that's what I need to be doing. There's a nice starter and alternator rebuild shop not too far from where I live. I've used them before. Their rebuild qualities are good. If I get this thing up and going and the starter gives me problems again later, I'll take it to them. But I know how to get it just well enough to find out if it's going to be any good or not. I don't want to spend the money on a rebuilt starter if the tractor's no good, because I don't have a rebuilt starter for a bad engine or a bad tractor. I want this one to work long enough for me to find out if it's worth putting a new one. I'm going to go ahead and cut out the rest of this because it's going to take a while. This one's particularly rough in a couple of these grooves. So I want to sit here and do this for probably the next 30 minutes or so. I'll bring you back when this is cleaned up more and I'll clean this off. This ain't near as important to be clean, but I'll scuff it off with some Scotch-Brite just so it is not dirty. Alright. I got that guy all cleaned up. Been working on this over here. I got it clean as enough. Now, them are the brushes down in there. See, 2 of them got a wire on them and 2 of them don't. That's something to do with making the polarity to make it spin. I don't know how that works, but I know 2 of them got to be powered and 2 of them don't. They got to be opposite each other. But usually this is the hardest part, because they're usually just brushes with a little spring right off back of them. Right next to where that wire would be, or is, there would be a spring pushing straight forward. And they all pop down and you can't get them out the way. You got to tie them out the way with a bread twist or something. Well, these, as you might notice, have this bracket on them that will allow you to go in there with a hook and actually pull them out the way. So these shouldn't be near as hard, hopefully. About to find out, because I'm going to put this thing in. Get y'all up in the stand and get me some hooks. That's a bad angle, ain't it? Yeah. There you can kind of sort of see something. Zoom you out just a little bit. I've got to get me some hooks, some picks, something or other to pull them out the way. The only trouble is, you gotta pull all 4 of them at the same time. I don't know if you know or not, but I only got 2 hands. You need 1 hand to operate 2 brushes, 1 hand to operate the other 2 brushes, and a 3rd hand to put the armature in. I ain't real good at math, but 2 don't make 3. Alright, I have an assortment of ties, because I realized that they might still be the easiest way to do this. Now what you want to do is you want to bend them into a hook. You want to take and fish them through the windows on your starter, like so. I don't think you can see that, but just imagine it going through the little slot. Then you try and reach down in with your hand or pliers or screwdriver or whatever will fit. And you try and get it to weave back through the brush. Come on. I'm going to try and get it out of the brush. There we go. So I'm just hooked around the bracket. I will show you what I mean right quick. See down in there the way that white tie is around that? I've already got one around that one. Just pull it out and bend it around to hold it. These springs are soft. I can get away with that. On a lot of them, they're too stiff to do just bending it. And now, if I go down here and pull, my camera will focus. Come on, stupid. There. You can see I can pull that brush right out the way. What I'm going to do is put something outside the starter, pull it out, tie this. I'll put something outside, I'll tie this around it. That way that brush can't lax. That'll keep it out the way, or that way the spring can't expand. Not sure where I get lax from. Anyway, that way the spring is out the way, brush is out the way. I'll do that with the other two, and hopefully we'll be able to slide the armature down in it, or commutator, or whatever it is, the other piece. Like I said, I'm not an electric motor man. I'm not a starter rebuilder. I don't really know what I'm doing for sure, but I know how to screw it up in a functional way. So I'm going to take a screwdriver, like so. Let's do it like this. Use a magnet end to hold it. I said to hold it. Sure, something like that. Pull on this, good, for all I'm worth. Not all I'm worth, but all I think the tie is worth. We'll wrap it around a couple times. That ought to work. And the nice thing about screwdrivers, you just pull them out to loosen everything up. Well, hopefully if I do this right, I won't have to. I'll be able to just untie the wires and pull them out. Now usually when you do this directly on the brushes, you run into the issue of the brush pinches a wire, especially if you got one like this with coating on it. It pinches it against the copper on the commutator piece thing, and then you end up with a bare spot in your wire. So what I like to do is, if it's already got a tear in it, for those style, I'll pull all the coating off. But since these got that little bracket on there, I don't think it'll be no problem because it won't be pinching these. I'm gonna go ahead and do the next hard one, which is the ones with the wires on them are hard to get into. The other ones are pretty easy actually. You kind of just slide right in them. There you go. Got that one out useful. The only problem with having the coating off of them is they're a lot harder to grab a hold of that way. So I'm going to grab some pliers. Of course, the pair I wanted was at the other end of the shop. Why wouldn't it be? Go ahead and give them a pinch. I said, maybe pinch them right. Give them a pinch. Fish my screwdriver in. And then while I'm squeezing them, we'll wrap this wire. There we go. That one is not quite out of the way as far as I'd like it to be, but I think it will clear. The main goal is to get, if you can get 3 of them out of the way, and you just got to grab the last one with a pick, it's a whole lot easier than trying to work them all by hand. Way easier. It also helps if you can hold the starter out of the vise, but the way this backing plate's on there and the way the springs are set, if I don't have it held like this, it'll push the brushes apart, and I don't want to do that, so yeah. It does make it a touch more difficult, but it still ain't too bad, I don't think. Go ahead and grab these wires. Like so. I said, look here, Mr. Wire. It's uncooperative. Need to pinch them farther up if I can. That might do it there. Hey, that's something there. Get them right together a little bit. There we go. I don't know if you could see much of that, but I ain't got a whole lot of room to work here, as you can see. I got 3 screwdrivers stuck out of this thing and everything else, so. Now we'll take the other component that I've give up on even calling it a name. I do have this as well. Make sure he's in there. I got a feeling he's gonna, maybe not. He might stay put. I hope he does. It'd be a lot easier if he stays put. Which brush are we crashing into? Can I see which brush we are crashing into? I think we're crashing into this one. Hey, there we go. Really hard to see what all's going on in here. See if that'll do it. It's it's this one that ain't getting out the way now. Bingo. Sweet. It's the easiest one I've ever had to go together. Now for the not as easy part. Well, hopefully it won't be too hard. Oh, this wire's got a damn coil in it. I knew I shouldn't use this stiff piece of wire. Okay, I got a solution on that. Cut that off. And fish the wire out the other way. There we go. And these little ones, just kind of pull out. Be careful not to break them off inside. I don't know how much these little wires will cause for a problem, but I do know it's best to not have them inside, so just be careful and they'll come out. Damn it. There, our wires are out. Spacer's in. Main assembly's in. That part's done. It does look fully seated. So I'm going to go ahead and put the cone back on it so it can't come apart. I hope Mr. Cone, he doesn't. Is this directional at all? Yeah, it is. Oh, there is an alignment. Okay. I was gonna say, does it have an alignment, or is it gonna be a game if I gotta finish that down there? Nope, I can do it right like that. Now for the part I hate. Okay, now I'll bring it all over. Just wanted to hurry up and get one in it before it fell apart like an egg hitting the floor. There we are. That's better. So now in one piece, bolted together, cannot fall apart. Tighten them up just a little bit. They're weenie bolts, so I ain't going very tight on them, but I also don't want the starter coming apart or these to back out, so there we go. That part's done. I'm gonna see about my contact switch here. He's a little nasty feeling. I've had him off once. I cleaned him up as best I could with a wire brush down there by the tractor, but see if I can do better up here. Or if I got a better switch, because this one might just be worn out. The physical copper contacts, oh yeah, you can see that wasn't contacting on nothing. Look at that. See how big that contact is and how little that patch? Yeah, that was some of the problem. It wasn't pushing on the end of the starter either. So I'm going to, this is not an original. This is some China replacement. I can see by the low quality of the metal. The other contact's making good connection. That one's not. Let's see what I got for other switches. This one. That's quite an old one, I'd say. Well, it says something on it there. Let me clean that up. This, I would say, probably was off a GMC or something. I don't know if they're all the same bolt up or not. It doesn't say anything there. There's just scratching. Okay. Anyway, it looks like it's in better condition, or at least better quality. It does need cleaned up. It's worn down a lot, so I might just try cleaning up the one I got, because you can see where this one's been contacting. It's ate down. We'll just clean this one up some more. You can see where it's not contacting on much. It's melted. What do I want to clean that with? Might be able to sneak a file up against it. I need a 90-degree file. I don't know if they make them or not. Probably. They make everything else, why not? Yes, I'm using the file the wrong way, but that's the way it fits, so. Alright, see how it's all shiny now? Hopefully it's more level too. When I hit it, it'll do more contacting. Let's clean out the other side a little bit. There we are. I don't know, maybe. It's better. That shouldn't need a ground on it, so I'm not gonna clean the starter where it bolts to. I'm gonna clean that up a little bit though. That's ate down a lot. It's been on there a long time. That's better-ish. I don't want to file that flat, actually. That's kind of wavy. Alright. It's still got a divot in it, but that divot's ate down in there a long way. I don't want to file that much out of it, so. If I had some copper, not copper, if I had some decent solder, I could fill that. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that right now, because I'm not very good at soldering, and I don't have real nice solder either, so. I'm not going to do that and then file it and this, that, and the other to get it all back in new contact. Not yet. If I got to, I will. But It's got a whole lot better hope of working now than it did. It's a lot cleaner. It's a lot less nasty. It's a lot less corroded. This was on there like that. The stud, and the stud ain't bad at all actually. We'll clean the nut up because I think that's when most of the contact goes through is there. There's my screws. A little washer. Go. Got one cross thread. I don't like cross threading. It's no fun. There we are. Sure. Maybe. I guess it's time to lug that heavy son of a back out on the four-wheeler and take it back down to the tractor and try again. Alright, I got the starter reinstalled, a couple things cleaned up. I've not tried to start it yet. I'm going to put the cable on and give it a pull and see what it does. Might not be any better. Yeah. I don't know if you can see down in there, but you see all that wire that ain't connected anymore? You know, that one? Well, that's supposed to be connected to something. I'd be lying if I said I know what. I don't know if it's supposed to go to this brush, because that brush has that on it. I think that's still wired up, but maybe that is supposed to go up onto it. Without that, ain't no way it's gonna start. No way. I don't think just pushing it up against that's gonna do it. That can be soldered back together, but I'd have to take this all back apart and do it all over again. I really don't feel like doing that today. So, I'm thinking, got that pushed up against, I may try with that pushed up against, see if it'll crank. I don't know if it will or not. I doubt it will, because that's not much of a connection. It's probably a poor one. We can try it. Oh, baby. That might work. I'm gonna hook up my coil and I'm gonna hit this thing with some spray and we're gonna find out. Maybe. Maybe it's the same cool up. I don't know how much spray it's going to need. It might want to choke. Let me give it a whiff. Choke it down some. See if it'll hit. Oh. Let me fiddle that wire right quick. That wire may have shortened up. Yeah, I think that wire got shorter. Let me try one more time on that. I can't believe that worked. So that tells me that if I resolder that, the starter might be fine. Can't get up to it with nothing to push on it. I gotta try and push it back up against. I can't get to it. Hang on a minute. Try the old points file. That ought to reach. Maybe. I think I ought to give it another whiff. Sure. Get my ignition hooked up. Damn it. Where'd I leave my points file? Nowhere useful. There it is. Trying to do it quickly. Hit. I don't know for certain that I do have spark. I do know we're pegged wide open. I don't know. Might not have no spark. That old starter. I don't know if y'all saw that. That old starter might be welding itself back together. I don't know. I think it's no spark. Or no timing. One of the two. But she don't want to hit. Just don't want to hit. We give it a real heavy whiff. Maybe it's just real thirsty. That is a whole lot. Alright. I'm pretty confident on the no spark, but I think my starter may have fixed itself. I got it hot enough. So I'm going to check for spark again, I guess. I hope I got some. I don't know. I should. Right on the power. One more whirl. Hope that starter's good. And I pulled my rod. Well, I don't know. I think it's telling me that it ain't gonna run today. Again, this damn thing just does not want to run. Just doesn't want it. I suppose then that's gonna do it again. It's too bad we couldn't get it to run this time, but I'll be back again. Gonna be in a different video this time. But I'm gonna get the starter fixed a little better. I'll probably still fix it myself, but I'm gonna resolder that connection, because when that does make connection, it turns over decent. So I'll clean it up a little more, solder that up. Wished I'd have caught it the first time, but I'll get that fixed up. Try and get it to spin over where I can confirm it has spark. And once we get that, hopefully it'll run. I don't know that it doesn't have spark, but it was cranking a lot earlier and wasn't doing much hitting, so I'm afraid it ain't got none. But I don't know if we got it to spin fast since I cleaned the points, so I don't know. I might just buy a set of points for it, probably only a couple dollars, so I'll get it to run. I know that coil looks bad, but it come off a motor that did run, so I think it'll all be alright, but I can try a different one too. That's going to do it for now. If you liked it, watch for the next video. If you didn't, find somebody else to watch. Goodbye.